Men with unresolved resentment toward their mother often struggle to trust women emotionally.
So for example, women always screwing up, it's the men in the comments talking about their mothers. And same with the whole men are this and that, and then I started connecting the dots.
We react strongly to our partner. We're actually reacting to something from the past.
So why do you take it out on the women that you say that you love? The women that are in your life. Here's the painful truth. You punish your partner.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm filming this with E.
What's up, guys?
And I'm still a little bit sick, so please don't mind my voice and appearance. But as you guys heard, we're going to be talking about the fact that I don't think you guys really resent men or resent women, whatever the opposite gender is. You just resent your parents. So this video is going to be broken down into two parts. The first part, we're going to just mention a little bit of background or what is, and the second is how this plays out in this whole modern dating sphere and when they are hostile, like where it's coming from.
Men with unresolved resentment toward their mother often struggle to trust women emotionally. They feel controlled easily. They overreact to criticism, interpret concern as nagging, interpret boundaries as projection. You pull away when women express needs, and sometimes you feel suffocated by intimacy. You swing between craving closeness and resenting it. You're not reacting to her, to your woman. You're reacting to the emotional blueprint your nervous system learned early. That's not adult logic, man. That's a child wound speaking through a grown man. You were a boy, and now you carried that into your adulthood.
So as you heard the gentleman say about how if your mother is a certain way, right? Like if she was maybe absent, overbearing, controlling, abusive, you in turn may start to resent women or start to see women's emotional needs as overbearing, as annoying, as too much, leading to you pushing away women who like you, women who want to be with you, or women that you are with, because there's a part in you that does not really trust your mother or is upset at her, resents her for what she did. I want to say that the same can be said for women with their fathers, which he didn't really mention in the video, but that's okay. How if a father is absent or abusive or the same thing as the mother, women will grow up not being able to trust men and not feeling safe and comfortable and kind of more like soft and relaxed with him. They'll be on guard, they'll be tense. I remember making a video on this saying like the childhood wounds affect dating and affect relationships because people don't understand that they're carrying so much childhood wounds. They're carrying a lot of hurt from what their parents did onto relationships. And even you could argue like the hurt that their past partners did, but that's for another day. Onto these relationships, therefore scarring their partners or self-sabotaging the whole thing.
Let's talk about your father, man, because we got to factor in the absence. When a man grows up without a healthy relationship with his dad, whether that was through abandonment, whether that was through distance, or because your mama pushed him out, his emotional development, a boy's emotional development, is incomplete because fathers help boys learn emotional regulation. Fathers help boys learn boundaries with women. Fathers help boys learn how to handle frustration, how to separate love from obligation, how to lead without resentment. When that guidance is missing and the mother is overwhelmed or resentful herself, the son absorbs tension. He resents women for expectations that were never explained to him. So why do you take it out on the women that you say that you love, the women that are in your life? Here's the painful truth. You punish your partner.
So as he mentioned, fathers help the boys, so as they grow up, they'll not be like completely emotionally developed and therefore having outbursts or being too hard on people, being too aggressive. Both parents play a part in their children, whether they're boys or girls, in really trying to shape them and have them grow and develop into developed, healthy, loving adults that can therefore go on and love other people. So that's why it's very important to recognize these things so you don't take out the hurt that you have towards your parents onto your future partners or potential partners.
A lot of conflict between men and women isn't really about men and women. It's about childhood wounds. that people carry from their parents. When the opposite gender has a painful relationship with a different parent, they can subconsciously expect the same pain from their partner. When you go into relationships, you view it like it's like a mirror, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes when we react strongly to our partner, we're actually reacting to something from the past, right? Especially things that we have experienced from our parents growing up, right? It's like some how they say the quote the term generational trauma, right? People's nervous systems triggering other people's nervous systems. This is a psychological thing that's going on because our brains love patterns. They learn the relationship patterns from our childhood. I can relate to some of these things that people could experience, which would be abandonment, criticism, or not having an emotional available father or mother growing up. So your nervous system just expects same thing in your adult life, right? And your adult relationships. You could misinterpret your partner's behavior, right? It's not failure. It's not moral failure or anything. So,
I like that. Thank you, E, for saying that. I agree with what you're saying. Now, for the second part of the video, how it goes to what we're seeing. I actually found this very interesting because when we came across this video, I mentioned to E, I'm like, I'm noticing a pattern with some people in these comment sections. So I have this thing where I tend to kind of analyze comments on other people's channels, especially if it's controversial or something where it's very emotionally charged and very intense. I start to pick up on patterns, and there is this repeat pattern happening in these spaces where there is a heavy emphasis on women always screwing up or men always screwing up, and it's the person. So for example, women always screwing up, it's the men in the comments talking about their mothers, always bring up their mothers. The mothers did this, the mothers did that, they went with these guys. And then I started connecting the dots there, and I'm like, that actually makes sense. Why they act this way sometimes. And same with the whole men are this and that, and then a lot of them grew up with dads who abandon them or, abuse them. So same thing there, and that's why they have this hostility towards men. To be fair here, I've seen this on both ends, and it actually makes a lot of sense. Because your parents are your primary role models growing up, and it does make sense when you really look at it, right? I'm not saying everything is complicated, everything has a deeper meaning, but if you look at it from this angle, it does very much make sense. Sorry guys, I still have a cough, that's why you see me like this sometimes, but as we were looking at the comment sections, it kind of clicked. It clicked. There is healing and work that needs to be done there to not, because I don't think people realize how damaging it is if you let your parents or any other relatives or past partners or friends like that, the hurt they caused you, you're going to cause that on someone else. Like if they cut you, you're bleeding onto the new people. You're bleeding onto the partners that never had anything to do with that. That's really, really tragic to see because innocent people are being punished. Innocent people are having to take the fall or even just like are being used as kind of like the punching bags now or the people to kind of vomit all over, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's important to be aware of these patterns, and they're not easy to break, but the first step is recognizing them.
Sometimes the tension between man and woman isn't really about gender. It's about old emotional wounds that people carry from their family. I think most people aren't trying to hurt each other. They're just reacting from emotional patterns they learned growing up without realizing it. Yeah, so I've noticed people out there will say things that I very well know that they're saying from a place of hurt. And as I've also been in the same position in certain things because either people are seeing too much negativity online that women are a certain way. Women are always using these handsome chads and these men who are tall and have a lot of money, right? And this puts a blueprint, right, into seeing these patterns in real life, and you start to say, so you start to think that women are manipulative and that they're controlling and stuff like that. This will eventually follow through with your relationships in life, not just like a romantic relationship, but in general.
It starts to, like he was saying when I was coughing, this is poisoning your head. And again, and then like I mentioned as well for like the woman saying, oh, well, men this because I don't know, their what's it called, their significant others did something, or guy friends did something, or random guys did something, or their dads or whatever. And I know it's easy to fall down that trap. Like he was saying, I get it. When you see something happening all the time, you're like, oh, everybody's this way. It could be tough, but that's where we have to have discernment as well. We want you guys to wake up a little and realize maybe the resentment you're having or this frustration at the opposite gender is actually because of your parent. So that is this video. Hopefully you guys learned something from this, and we hope to see you guys in our next video. Please let me know down below what you think, or if you've seen something like this play out. Thanks, guys.
May God be with you guys.
God bless, guys. Bye.